about the reproductive health and the role of RCH. Full form of RCH, I'll recall, reproductive and health care. As well as we studied about the strategies for successful implementation of the programs and the support needed for successful implementation of the programs. Today we'll study about the population explosion, and which is a very serious problem throughout the world. So it's a serious world concern, and I also told you earlier that there has been an explosive impact on the population growth rate around the world, and due to technological advancement in various fields, the quality of life has improved tremendously. The improvement is due to a number of factors like increased health facilities, better living conditions. So in 1900, world population was 2 billion, 2000 million, and in 2000 it was 6 billion, that is 6,000 million. In a span of 100 years, the world population has grown 3 times. This I had already informed you. This increased growth rate is due to decline in death rate. So decline in mortality rate, that is MMR, that is rate of death of mothers. So decline in maternal mortality rate, known as MMR, that is rate of death of mothers, and decline in infant mortality rate, that is IMR, death rate of the infants, and increase in number of the people in reproducible age. So increased growth rate is due to decline death rate, decline in maternal mortality rate, that is MMR, means rate of death of mothers, then decline in infant mortality rate, IMR, means rate of death of infants, and increase in number of the people in the reproducible age. So by 2001 census in India, the population growth rate was 1.7%. By this rate, the population could double in 33 years. So with the RCH programs, the population growth rate has been brought down, but not marginally. So the population explosion, which is a serious world concern, world population is growing at the rate of 2% per year. And I told you this population explosion is a cause of grave concern for all of us, because its impact is already showing in many areas, and it is causing socio-economic problems due to lack of space and food. It is leading to increased unemployment. This also I have explained you in the previous lecture. And increased in urbanization is at the cost of deforestation, causing ecological imbalance on the earth. So if we see the demography, that is the scientific study of the human population. Demography is the scientific study of the human population. So the demographs have estimated that human population may stabilize temporarily at 8 to 15 billion due to changing attitudes of women and advanced methods of birth control. Human population in 2006 was approximately 6.3 billion, and the current population of India in 2012 is 1.22 billion, which makes it second most populated country after China, which is on top with over 1.35 billion people. It is growing at the rate of 1.9% per year. Then the environment and human population pressure See, the environmental degradation that we see today occurs due to the following two reasons: exponential increase in human population and population densities differ in their different parts of the world. Then use of resources by developed and developing countries. So half of the 6 billion people world population according to 2000 live in poverty, and 1/10 are severely undernourished or malnourished. So to raise a child, a developed nation like USA needs 15 to 20 times more resources in comparison to a child raised in a developing nation like India. 15% of the world population, which belongs to developed countries, controls about 85% of the resources. There is an aggressive natural resource acquisition and colonization by developed countries. Majority of the world's population, about 85%, lives in developing countries. The developing countries have a large rural population. So with industrialization, this rural population is shifting to the urban areas. So we can say the effects of the technological advancement on the environment and population. The technological advancements affect the society and the environment in a number of ways. They led to increased detachment of society from nature, interference with the physiochemical and biological interaction in the environment, increased exploitation of resources in the form of excessive deforestation, intensive agriculture and more use of pesticides and fertilizers, indiscriminate mining operations, excessive and thoughtless use of fossil fuels. So now we move on to the population control. So human population is increasing at an enormous rate. It is estimated to become double in next 30 to 35 years. The increase in human population is not only adding to an already exploding population, but is also causing a number of socio-economic problems, energy crisis and biodegradation. So what are the measures to control overpopulation? To control overpopulation, the best method is birth control. Some of the scientific methods of birth control, they are used by under the supervision of a qualified medical practitioner. The first is the suppressing the production of ovum by taking hormones in the form of oral contraceptive pills. These pills alter the ovulatory cycle and hence prevent the pregnancy. Then second is preventing the fertilization of ovum by sperm. It can be achieved by various means like intrauterine contraceptive devices, IUD like copper T or loop, then vaginal diaphragms and many other spermicidal creams, then tubal ligation in females or surgical methods like vasectomy in males and tubectomy in females. Then the third is the medical termination of pregnancy, that is MTP or abortion. It has now been legalized in our country. MTP has now been legalized. Birth control aims at reducing the size of the family so that each child gets the basic necessities, employment, and can live a joyful and happy life. So for the next we move on to the family planning, just to bring the awareness about the importance of having a small and happy family. The government of India has launched a massive campaign on family planning and has introduced a number of welfare programs. This I had mentioned earlier also. and now also I am recalling that the family planning method, that is it is given by a symbol, and the slogan is small family, happy family, which can be seen in newspapers, magazine, TV hoardings, etc. Then we come to the next important thing, that is important step to overcome this problem, that is also having the happy couple with 2 children and with the slogan Hum Do Hamare Do. So this is the slogan given. It is already displayed, and now also they keep on displaying it in the newspapers, magazines, TV, and the hoardings, etc. Then the contraceptive methods, we move on to the contraceptive methods. These contraceptive methods, they control over population. The best method to control the population, that is, I told you, they are showing a varying degree of effectiveness in the work in one of the following ways. But control or contraceptive methods, they have varying degrees of effectiveness and work in one of the following ways. So here you can see they are natural methods, barrier methods, intrauterine devices, oral administration of pills, injections or implants, and surgical methods. So we move on to the natural methods. Here on the screen you can see what are the natural methods. Natural methods, they work on the principle of avoiding the chances of the ovary meeting the sperm, thereby preventing fusion of gametes. So there is the natural method, they prevent the fusion of the gametes or fertilization. So the first is periodic abstinence. First is the periodic abstinence. It refers to abstinence from coitus from 10th to 17th day of the menstrual cycle. When ovulation is expected, the chances of fertilization are maximum during this period. Hence it is called the fertile period. Generally, I had already told you that the 14th day ovulation takes place, that is the mid of the menstrual cycle. But in certain bodies it takes between some after 14th day, so round about 10th to 17th day of the menstrual cycle. If the abstinence from coitus from 10th to 17th day of the menstrual cycle is referred, then the ovulation is expected. So the chances of fertilization are maximum, and hence it is called as the fertile period. Thus, abstaining coitus during fertile period is the way to prevent conception. Another is the withdrawal of the coitus interrupts. This is the another method during which the male withdraws the penis from the vagina during before ejaculation to avoid insemination. As ejaculation is done outside from the withdrawal, and it prevents the release of the sperms in the female genital tract. Hence it prevents conception. Hence it prevents conception. So you can see on the screen, withdrawal or coitus interrupts. Third is the lactational amenorrhea. During this phase, baby is breastfed by the mother for a period of about 5 to 6 months. And normally ovulation does not occur, and hence menstrual cycle is not established. Thus, during this phase, chances of conception are almost negligible. So this method has been proved to be effective only during intense lactation period, and the chances of the failure may be high, as there is no way to judge when the body restores the normal cycle. Another method is the barrier method. These methods are ones that prevent ovum and the sperm to physically meet by putting a barrier between them. So the barrier can be used by males or the females. These are many other devices, and both male or the female can use these barrier methods just to prevent the ovum and the sperm to meet. And these are the condoms made of the thin rubber or the latex sheath, and I used to cover the penis in males before coitus. The ejected sperms remain in the condom and do not enter the female genital tract, hence it prevents conception. Then it also protects against contracting sexual transmitted diseases, STDs like AIDS. Then the intrauterine devices. These are the special devices inserted into the uterus by specific techniques by expert doctors or medical practitioners. These intrauterine devices are various types. They are non-medical IUDs like lips and loop. Then copper releasing IUDs like CUT, copper T, CU7, copper 7, multi-load, 375, etc. And the hormone releasing IUDs like progesterone, LNG20, etc. So IUDs, they increase the phagocytosis. IUDs increase the phagocytosis of the sperms within the uterus, and the Cu ions are released to suppress sperm motility. This reduces the fertilizing capacity of the sperms and also makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation. Phagocytosis means engulfing. So copper ions, they engulf these sperms and then they suppress their motility also. So they do not fertilize with the ovum. So IUDs have been found to be very ideal contraceptives for females with a very good success rate, and it can have the they can be ideal to space the children. Then oral administrative of the pills. Then the oral administration of the pills, that is, female often use pills that contain small doses of either progestrogens or progesterone estrogen combination to avoid pregnancy. Pills are normally taken after a gap of 7 days of the menstrual cycle or from menstruation for 21 days continuously, is one pill a day without any break. So the pills inhibit or prevent ovulation. That means release of the ovum. And also inhibit implantation. So the pills have been found to have success rate and are taken by a large number of females. So a pill called Saheli is a new contraceptive pill with non-steroidal preparation. So it has very few side effects and high contraceptive advantage. It has high contraceptive advantage. So injection or the implants, at times female take injection or implants of progesterone alone or in combination with estrogen to avoid conception. This mode of action is similar to the pills, except that they are more effective and their effective periods are much longer. So administration of these hormone injections have been found to be effective as emergency contraceptives if the other contraceptive devices fail during the unprotected coitus or to avoid unwanted pregnancies. Then is the surgical method. A surgical method, these are also called sterilization techniques, and they are normally irreversible and are employed as a terminal method to prevent any more pregnancies. These methods block the transport of gametes, thereby prevent conception. In males, the sterilization procedure is vasectomy. And in vasectomy, a small part of the vas deferens is tied up, or it is removed through a small incision on the scrotum. That means a small portion is cut and ligated. Then in females, the procedure is called as tubectomy. And tubectomy, a small part of the fallopian tube removed or tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or in vagina. So it is also a small cut is made and it is cut and ligated. So all of the above contraceptive methods should be taken in consultation with qualified doctors or the medical practitioners, and these methods can help in checking the unwanted pregnancies, and they are good in spacing of the children and for better health of the mother. And these contraceptive methods, especially pills and the IUDs, they may be accompanied by nausea, abdominal pain, irregular menstrual bleeding, etc. For this reason, it is advisable to consult a doctor for these devices. And the above contraceptive methods can also be classified in different methods, like preventing fusion of the gametes or fertilization, that I told you already, by making use of the pills to avoid the ovulation and production of the ovum. This can be suppressed by taking these hormones or the pills. And another, I told you, IUCD like copper T or loop prevent the implantation of the ovum into the uterus. Then thank you.